You're listening to the Para House Entertainment Network. Come join us as we take you deep into the fire to the paranormal realms of hauntings, UFOs, ETs, alien abductions, strange creatures, and the vastness of universal consciousness as we continue to seek what is not supposed to exist as we search for the truth that only comes from going into the fire. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Into the Fire. We've got our special guest in the green room right now, and I've got Tanya here with us, and we're going to be discussing a few things before we bring on Nolan Emerson with Pitch Black Paranormal. How you doing, Tanya?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, I'm dying, but other than that, I'm great. I was born to die. So anyway, but I'm excited about tonight's show. We've got a great gentleman with us that I have taken a liking to since I have got to deal with him at the hall, and looking forward to having him tell his story tonight, and looking to hear more about this wonderful documentary that he's put together.
Absolutely.
Everybody it's we have so many different things going on in our lives and everything else, and I want to say a big prayer out to Emerson and his family. They lost his grandfather the other day, and it's an emotional thing, and he made a commitment, and he is here with us tonight to carry on through that. And it takes a hell of a man to do that, and we want to send our blessings out to him and his family. And thanks to Emerson. I'm going to bring Emerson on, and I'm going to let him do his own bio. And we're going to bring him right on right now and get him out here. And you're going to love this guy.
How's it going?
Nolan, how you doing?
I'm doing good, hanging in there. I really appreciate the condolence there in the beginning. Yeah, we lost him last night, so it's been a tough 24 hours, and but I'm here and I'm excited to be here.
I am glad you're here too, because you got a lot to talk about, man. I got to tell you, if anybody has not seen the teaser video that this gentleman put out for his wonderful documentary, it's going to be showing Thursday the 28th on YouTube. You definitely got to see it. I was going to ask you to send me a copy of it, but my day got so dang busy, and sometimes I get behind on some of the stuff that I need to do, because I'd love to play it here. If you've got it, key it up and run it in. So, but go to Octagon Hall's page, go to my page, and if you search back, you'll definitely see it. It's a awesome piece of artwork and a real pleasure. Tanya, you've seen it, haven't you?
I'm not sure if I have yet or not.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, you've got to take a look at it, because it is it's awesome. It is one of the better ones that I've seen. I think it's
Thank you.
Great. It's really good, and it states a lot about your commitment to this field and to the paranormal, and we sure do appreciate that, because as we go through our daily lives and the times that we've spent in this, I think Tanya's been in it for a long, long time, and I've been into it too long. So, and when we see people like your team, Pitch Black Paranormal, and the way that you go about doing things, and the professionalism that you show, and the things that you put forth, we appreciate that greatly, because that's what's going to. This is the future of the paranormal and where it goes from here. This gentleman is going to be leading the way. I can tell you that much right now.
That's very kind of you.
I'll put my money on that. So tell me, what do you think about Octagon Hall? That's what we're here tonight. I understand that you had it's. I gotta state this. Every once in a while, I get those phone calls where people go, "You got to come out here. I got to talk to you." And I got one of those from you, didn't I?
Yep.
And believe it or not, I had one of those just a few days ago too. But this guy was a little bit more emotional than you were. But it was pretty.
I was probably still in a state of shock.
You were pretty. Yeah, you were pretty geek. I got to tell you. So, it's a pleasure to hear that investigators do phenomenal things and see things and capture things. And that place is one that does it. And I always call them to give you a gift, and they liked you enough to give you a few gifts and to show you a little bit about what's behind the curtain,
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to let you tell about your team. I want you to tell about what you've been doing, and talk about the documentary. And we're going to sit back and we're just going to let you take it away, man. You got it.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Well, the documentary comes out this Thursday on our YouTube, Pitch Black Paranormal, at 8 p.m. Eastern time. The premiere is set right now. So if you go to our YouTube page, you'll be able to click on it, hit notify me, and you'll be able to come watch live with us at 8 p.m., chat live with us. It'll be Alex in control of that because I'll be working, of course. And but yeah, so, and also the trailer is out there, the teaser that you talked about, which very kind words of you. Thank you. We did work harder on this documentary than anything else we've ever done. I think by far and away it's our best on both an evidence level and a production level. So I'm excited to share it with everyone. But for me personally, I mean, my fascination with, like, I guess the spookier side of life started very young. I mean, at like 4 years old, I was watching all the scary movies. I was watching Chucky and Scream and all those type of things. And I don't know why. 7, 8 years old, I was, dressed up as Michael Myers in a haunted house attraction. So I don't know what went wrong up here at an early age that knocked a couple screws loose. But when I started to turn 12, 13 years old, maybe even younger than that, I started to gear towards, like, ghost hunters, ghost adventures, those type of things. And I always thought, man, that's so cool. Like, those things really could be out there. And I'd had a couple of weird experiences as a kid, mainly at my grandpa's house, who passed away last night. I had some weird experiences at his house growing up, and it kind of just sparked a fascination. And when I was, 16, 17, there's a cemetery, 40 minutes away from my house that's notorious in my area for being, haunted. Something will chase you out. Unfortunately, some teenagers over the years have vandalized it and ruined it, so they kind of closed it off. But back when 16, you sneak into a cemetery late at night, and my first real experience that I can document was we snuck in there one night, which I don't recommend ever doing. That's dumb teenager stuff. There's a cross that sits in the cemetery, and they say if you touch it or you lean up against it or whatever, things are supposed to happen. So again, screws loose. We had the Ouija board. I leaned up against the cross while doing it, I guess just pushing the limits or whatever. And I started to feel like sick, like I was about to throw up. And one of the stories of the cemetery was there's a lady in there that likes to chase people out. And my friend was asking while I'm on the Ouija board, and another friend was across me on the planchette as well. He was standing up filming, and he goes, "Is there a lady here that likes to chase people out?" And on command, a blood-curdling scream came from the front of that cemetery, and never had anything like that. So we picked up, we ran, the good 100 feet to our car that was parked, and we got the hell out of there, real quick. So that's really the first documented experience where I could say, oh my God, I had that adrenaline rush of something crazy happening. And from there, I mean, it kind of took off. 18 years old, I got just a little handheld night vision camera for Christmas, in fact. And we started, me and a group of friends that I've grown up with, and we went to the Hinsdale House on an overnight investigation for a public hunt.
Yeah.
And talk about weird places. That's one of them. And you walk in there, and you see it on the shows, you see it on the YouTube or whatever. But when you walk in there and you immediately are hit with you feel like you're underwater. You feel like you're moving in a dream where you can't move as quickly. You get foggy brained. You get the goosebumps, and the things that happen there. From that night, I was hooked, and kind of the rest is we started gearing up more on equipment and getting way more serious about it, and we've kind of built it up. And now it's going on 5 years of us doing it. So that's basically the story of Pitch Black Paranormal.
Excellent. And I love that Jello effect. That's what I call it, the Jello effect. It's like cruising through the
spaghetti legs. Yep.
Yeah, you're like going, wow. Does anybody else feel that?
Yeah, something's off. Yeah, something is off.
Yeah, something's going on. So
your body will definitely tell you when it hits.
It's your best instrument. It's your best instrument.
Yeah, so true. And I love to hear you say that, because we're always preaching that to people all the time. Trust in your body.
Yep.
When your body tells you, we got a problem here, you got a problem.
Yeah, exactly. That's why when you're on an investigation, you always say, if you feel something, say something, because it could add validation of something that's about to happen, or a voice that you capture or something. So you should always point that out and use your body and trust in it.
Yep. I'm trying to figure out, are you in the chat room right now, Tanya?
Yes.
I have not been in the chat room yet. So does anybody have a question for him? I would like to see if they want to ask him questions about this event before I have him start shouting out what may have happened to him here at the hall.
I haven't seen any questions, but Beth Allen said we need to have a watch party.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I want to hear that. Yeah. 8:00 Thursday night. That's Eastern time.
Yep,
right?
Eastern time. Yep. I always forget. You're right on the edge. You're kind of pretty close to the edge of that time zone flip.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
It's just but that's why I'm always behind the times. So, but
8 p.m. Eastern time, YouTube. You can come chat live with us and talk about things that have happened to anybody else out there watching. If you've been to the hall or want to go, or just questions for us or whatever, Alex will be in control of that. So it's always a fun time.
Alex is a good guy. Alex is a good guy.
All right, I got a couple of questions.
It popped up quick.
Yeah, doesn't take long. Okay, so Beth Allen says, what is your favorite spot at the hall?
Oh boy, there's crazy things happened in every inch of that place. But I guess the craziest section for us in the 48 hours, of course, we've only been there once, was the barn on the outside, off to the right out there.
Oh yeah, we know that
things,
barn.
The shadow person barn. Yeah, the shadow person barn. The things that happened to us out there, you'll see it Thursday. We were ready to turn and run about 6 times. And to give a little teaser, for the 5 years that we've been doing this, we have never gone on a dead sprint away from a session ever. We've been through we've seen some crazy things. We've had some crazy things happen, but we've never just turned and said, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm done. It happened twice in about an hour and a half at the hall on that final night. It was the most insane thing I've ever. It felt like I was kind of in a movie, because it's I felt like nothing was off limits as to even going on a ghost hunt. You kind of always have things that you can expect or maybe prepare for, but there it was just kind of what the hell is going on? This is a movie. This is a movie that I'm living in, and it's a horror movie, and some crazy shit's gonna happen. And so that's just I didn't sleep well on the final night. I'll say that much. I didn't sleep well at all. I got maybe an hour and a half.
Areas. The barn, and where was the other area?
I'd have to say for us during our investigation was the basement.
Yeah.
The basement is where Alex got attacked. So there's something, and when you were giving us the walkthrough, Bear, you had me stand over in that area, in that corner of the basement,
Yeah.
without telling us what was going on. And the second I stood over there, I kind of fell backwards. And this is in the documentary. I kind of start to fall backwards, and then you tell me, well, that's where a portal is. And I was like, damn, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see. Christy asked what the main area of experiences.
As far as the hall?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the barn. Again, things happened all over. The first night, things were happening. Every level, first floor, second floor, outside. Things happened all over the place. But that barn, that shadow barn out there, I don't know. Something's crazy in there. Something next level is in that barn out there. And I can't wait to someday go back and check it out again.
There's a lot in that barn.
Yeah. And, it's funny. I had an investigator, good friend of ours, and he comes up and helps all the time. He'll be helping up in October, and he runs a paranormal team. I won't mention his name. Everybody knows him, though, and I love him to death. But one time I said, well, hey, go out and check the barn out. And he goes, you never told me anything about the barn. I mean, anything going on out there? And he comes back and he goes, why have you never told me about the barn?
Okay, so Trent asked, did you get anything crazy from the portal?
From the spot of the portal, not necessarily. But in the basement, back where the tunnels are, that's where Alex got attacked.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just he had. You'll see it in the documentary. And you can even see it in the trailer. So I'm really not spoiling anything. The claw marks that go across his arm. There's 4 of them, and it kind of looks like 3, and then 1 that goes across on the top, kind of like it went like this, and the thumb came across. That's the kind of shape it had to it. And also to go along with it, there was direct, intelligent communication calling Alex out by name right as that happened. On our Phasma box. And it's just nice because you can have things happen, but when you have other types of communication or evidence that align with it at the exact same time, that is the kind of the pinnacle of it. And that's kind of what you're looking for.
I always tell people that you have to be prepared for Ottingen Hall is one of those places that you never know what you're going to get or who you're going to get to. But I'm going to tell you one thing, that it is probably one of the best intelligent haunted places around. It is definitely, they know how to talk to you, and they know who you are, and they know what you're saying to them, and they will tell you back things,
Oh, yeah. They know you're coming before you know you're coming.
Yeah, exactly. They really do. Yep.
Exactly.
In fact, I said earlier that we were ready to turn and run like 6 times out of that barn. Typically it's me that's kind of like, no, everybody needs to stay right here if things get hectic. I was ready to get the hell out of there. And Alex was the one that's like, no, we can't run. Don't run. We're staying right here. Even as, things got crazier. Yeah. And that's why I think he was a target. He was targeted in the barn with some random pain and when things kind of happened, he had this pain in his stomach that also went along with some intelligent communication, calling him out by name at the same exact time. So I think him standing his ground, whatever's out there in the barn, didn't really like that. Or maybe, in fact, we caught a laugh, so maybe they did like it. But
sometimes you'll feel what they felt.
Yeah, that's true. They transfer onto, maybe their last breaths get transferred onto you, or we've had that happen before. What they were feeling when they died, and it gets transferred to you. That happened to us at Indiana State Sanatorium, doing the Estes method there, and to where it was intelligent communication coming through Alex, and Alex has really began to open himself up to doing things like that. So I think he's also more open, and that's maybe why the spirit there was coming to attack them, or coming to challenge them, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird thing.
Yeah. Have you ever felt like you've had spirits follow you from one location to another?
I feel like I've had spirits follow me home before. I can't say for sure if they followed me from another location. Like I said, I was talking about earlier, was the Randolph County Infirmary. That was my first kind of like attachment, like where something was like, I left there, I was like super depressed and like just wanted to go back, and that's all I could think about. And then the Bel Air house, I know I had something that followed me home, and that wasn't a fun time. That wasn't fun. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had anything that I can think of. I guess I've never really thought of it or thought about to ask it.
Yeah.
If they're from somewhere else, if they're just here because they're used to us talking and they're used to using our equipment or whatever. But so that's a good point you bring up.
Well,
I don't
sometimes
want
you'll
anything
get
to
like
follow
the
me home from the
same
Bel Air
name.
house. Wow.
Sometimes when you ask questions, you'll get the same names. You know what I mean?
We
It's different places. And you'll know that it's the same one by the way they respond, because they'll answer the same way at each place. And then, they still come home with you too. I mean,
that's, actually at Wilson Castle, we did actually have similar names as to our previous investigation, which was our return to Randolph County. And we did get a couple of the same names and same type of voices. So I never really put two and two together, but yeah.
We have had that happen. And you mentioned the Bel Air house, and I love the Bel Air house. And Kristen Lee is just a very, very special lady and very dear to me. And
she's one of my good friends too. Yeah.
Yeah, she is a sweetie. But that's a bizarre home in a bizarre area of town.
Oh yeah.
It's just
that's the only place I've ever had to be cleansed from. I'll say that much.
Well,
that was
a big much.
That
house
was
next to it is just as bad. Let me
terrifying.
tell you.
Yeah, terrifying.
Thank God you can't go in that. That's all.
I was okay with that, but yeah.
But it's just it's a wonderful place. But when you're talking about, we have the thing going where we go certain places, and sometimes we've done a lot of work with other types of investigations where we're helping other people out, trying to get rid of spirits, do that kind of stuff. And we have a lot of people out doing that instead of doing the event tours and so forth like that, even though we do it a lot. But I find that sometimes every time you do one of those things, there's something that will follow you around, that will communicate to you all the time. And I'll tell you a quick story that I was up in at the Benton Farms one year, and I was using the rods, and I was going through this, and I found a grave, and I knew that this person wanted me to find their grave, and I went out there and found this grave, and it was a female, and I knew where she was laying, and the whole 9 yards, and we talked for a while, and I've got her on EVP and everything else, and I left there about 3 weeks later. I'm at Ottingen Hall doing a novice time. I'm downstairs in the basement, and this lady comes through and says, "Hi, Bear." I says, "What's your name?" And it was her. And I said, "Did you follow me here from Benton Farms?" And she says, "Yes, it's me." And I was like, "You got to go back home. We're going to get you back home. See you later. Got enough people. Don't need any more. Holy cow. Thanks for visiting."
Good to see you, but you got to get the hell out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Go hang out with Nolan somewhere.
No, that's okay. I'm all right.
No, but we and Tanya can tell you the same thing. Where they bump into us all the time. We get similar voices. We'll talk to the same people because they can cover a span of distance that is unbelievable. It's not just here at Nottingham Hall, anywhere else, they can come here and I'll know something's wrong at Nottingham Hall because they're knocking on my door down here going, "You got to go to the hall. You got to go to the hall. We got a problem." And it's true. That's what they do. I mean, they're like going, "Hey, hey, hey, hey," and
Yep.
It's just that way, and they'll do it to Tanya. They'll do it to anyone, and it's just these spirits have a way to communicate over great distances. They know where you're at. They know when you're coming. They know what's going on, and I can't wait till you get an opportunity to book a return to Nottingham Hall, so I can sit there and tell them, "Guess who's coming back?"
Yeah. Yeah, they probably would already know, but
right, exactly.
But the way they travel and stuff, it makes you wonder, like, how many portals are really out there, like in your own home and somewhere around your property that they get there faster, or are they just attached to something in you? But I don't know. It's a fascinating question, but I've had things follow me home, so it's definitely a real thing.
Well, I'll tell you something that you'll love to hear.
Typically, that means I'm not going to love what comes next.
Right. Well, I was, I pulled in and there was a team there for one night, and I pull into the hall and he's sitting out there and he's going, "I just had to talk to you. I saw something last night and I just can't believe it. Have you ever heard of this? Have you ever heard of anything like this?" And I was like, "Well, what happened?" He says, "I was out by the barn and this white light comes up out of the ground and forms a doorway." And he says, "And then out of this doorway, I see a shadow come out of the whiteness, and it takes out. It's all I can see is this black image of this thing, and the white behind it. And the thing took a step out, and the door goes whoosh. And then he ran across the yard." And I said, "Yeah, welcome to Nottingham Hall." And he says to me, he goes, "But it was 20 foot tall." And I went, "Yeah, welcome to Nottingham Hall."
Oh man, that's what I mean about that place being a freaking horror movie where nothing is off limits. Like the place is
nothing's off limits.
Yeah,
nothing's off limits. It's funny. And some of the things that we have seen and we talk about, just by sitting off in the back, here we are, the seasoned investigators, and all the things that we do. And there are those occasions that I am standing on the back porch and I'm with my brothers and sisters, Tanya and Billy, and some of the Night Stalkers and Melvin out there, and we're sitting there and we're looking out in the cemetery, and we go, "What the hell is that? Do you see that?" Yeah. "What the hell is that?" "I don't know." All right, let's go look. Normally we're all like heading down the stairs. We're going to head that way. On this occasion, we all sat there and went,
"No,
ain't going
we
down."
got the thermal out and everything else trying to.
Yeah. We're like going, "Ain't no way I'm going out to look at that dang thing off this porch. I'm staying right here. If it comes up here, I'm going in the house."
I could only imagine what made you want to do that, because when we were interviewing you for the documentary at the hall, the way you talked about some of the things that had happened to you there in the most casual, matter-of-fact, laid-back manner, I'm sitting back here and I'm terrified at just the prospect of, okay, you're telling me this right now, and I'm going to be here for the next 48 hours. And you're just like, yeah, this massive shadow figure tackled me, and I lifted up off the ground and smacked down. And it's the welcome to the hall.
Yeah.
Because people, other people have seen that, was there and witnessed it, and they talk about it all the time. And there are so many things that that I've experienced there at the hall, and so has the people within Night Stalkers and other people that have been with me. And through those periods of time, there are things that I will tell you that I will never wrap my mind around. And some of those things I might never tell, even though I've told a few people, and I might tell you, but man, there are some things out there that I just go, no, I'm just not ready to deal with that yet because I can't figure it out. You know, when buildings appear and disappear and other things happen, and you know, you're like going, well, okay. But all I know is that I don't want to. There's certain areas that I tested this, and Tanya will tell you, she knows this as gospel. There are certain areas in the hall that I will not walk through or drive through unless I have a rope tied behind me and I'm tied off to a tree because I want to come back.
So that's what's crazy is when we went there and you're like, we knew some of the claims of like, we were excited. I think we told you when we were there that we were really excited because this was our first like real location that centered around Civil War history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we were excited for that. And I knew somewhat of the claims of the UFOs and the cryptids and things of that nature. I didn't know the scale of it until we got there. And when I'm like, I believe in UFOs and I always have. But I never seen one. I certainly never captured one on camera.
Yeah.
And just, I left with I left questioning what I believed in because I really didn't believe that much in Bigfoots or in, you know, portals and doorways opening up to other dimensions and like, you know, just like the sci-fi stuff. I don't know what to believe anymore. In fact, I'm now leaning towards that stuff is just that's a matter of fact now. And
just remember,
it's so bizarre.
Yeah,
things you see in the movies came from
somewhere. Yep.
Yeah.
All folklore did too.
Characters in movies came from somewhere.
Right. All the same with all the legends and folklore that you hear, they started somewhere. So
absolutely,
you know,
for a reason.
Yeah. That reason is probably Octagon Hall.
That's it. You know, well, I got to ask you, when you first pulled in Octagon Hall, what did you feel?
I felt the history. I knew of the Confederates that had camped there and the Union that, you know, took over, and just kind of standing on that ground with where that happened was just so cool to me. And then you step into it and you immediately get that when you let us in and we were getting set up for the interview, when you could feel the energy inside of the house. Like it just had that feel of, you know, this place is very real. It's, you know, things are going to happen. Wasn't ready for what was going to happen. So.
Yeah.
I know I keep hyping it up, but the documentary is called Encounters with Another World. And that's not clickbait. It's for a reason. I've sent you the video, Bear. I sent it to you shortly after we left. It's that accompanied with everything else that happened leading up to, and then, you know, following that is some of the most surreal evidence we've ever captured.
Well, I got to tell you something, that Octagon Hall has given a lot of people a lot of evidence and has done a lot of things. And it's just it's a testament to the oddity of what is the paranormal and what is the unknown. And that place is filled with a desire of an ancient land, of an ancient property that has a story to tell and is going to hold on to it and tell it as it piece by piece. And when you're out there, you can experience it all in certain bursts. And it will, you know, you never want to have it happen all at one time, because that's the time that, and I will tell you this, and some people know this as a fact too, is that I've been doing paranormal investigations for a long time. And there are times that I'm on Octagon Hall and I will actually sit there and say, okay, you win.
Yep. See you later.
I'm going outside, getting in my truck, and I'm going home.
Yep. In fact, it's funny you say that, because I told you about how, you know, Alex was the one kind of standing his ground, like, no, we're not going anywhere. But when the last bit of things happened before we all like actually ran away, it is one of the most hilarious one-liners we've ever had. But as we're turning to run, you just hear Alex say kind of what you said. He goes, "Yeah, I'm over it," and we just a dead sprint all the way back to the hall. It was one of the funniest moments we've ever had, but it is also like one of the most surreal. So it was kind of like a perfect storm of what happened in that barn. It was amazing.
Right.
And sometimes I think they go for that shock factor. You know, they're trying to catch you off guard and do something you're not expecting.
Exactly. Yeah. And in fact, like you said, you don't want it to happen, and it happens in bursts, and you don't want it to happen all at once. Well, kind of the first night started off decent, and in fact, we caught this super bizarre screeching howl coming from outside. And we run outside, and we're looking around, we're listening for it, and we're taking pictures around the property at nighttime, flash camera. And Matt, who was with us, caught a really weird, bizarre picture outside. And then you fast forward to later in the night, and Alex gets attacked in the basement, as we mentioned. And then we go to the second night, we're filming all day, get to the second night, and really for the first few hours, it was nothing. There was nothing going on, nothing that we caught on audio or visual, nothing we really felt. And then when we went into the barn, that flipped on a dime. So it is weird how it happens like that, how it can come in spurts and be dead and then come back 10 times harder. It's very weird.
And all at once.
Yep. All at once. Yep.
And, it's like I used to say, I'd sit there in the house and we'd leave for lunch, come back, walk in the door, and you go, "Oh shit."
Yep. Something you can feel it. Yep.
The whole house just changed. Now we're in for the whole gambit, and it's funny, and it's just like a light switch off and on in certain areas as it goes. When you're there in October during the thinning of the veil, that is probably, the Confederates and the Union were there in February, big time. There's always something that's going on right now in this time of the year in August for some reason there at the hall. And then the time you were there, it also does the same thing. And then you have October. October and November is.
Every night is a completely different feel.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like the same house. You go there back to back, and every night is completely different.
That's what we've kind of talked about, because with what happened to us there, we're definitely coming back. And when we come back, it's got to be, we did 48 hours. Well, now we want to, push it even further and do a week or some elongated stay. And if we do it at that point in time, and what would happen to us over that course of days, I think would be amazing. What I would really love to know is, like, what makes that switch flip? What is there something in the atmosphere? Is there just, of course, certain times can bring on different residual energies,
right?
But to bring on with so much intelligence, it's weird how it just flips like that. And that's one thing that Octagon Hall would be one of the places to study. Like I told you before, I nicknamed it kind of the Skinwalker Ranch of the Midwest. And you could set up the same type of thing and they could do the same exact experiments at the hall as they're doing there and come up with, the same type of stuff, because what's going on there. I would love to come back in October when the veil is thin and see what happens over that course of time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're welcome to do that, and we love to, and that's the thing about it. We want other people to look at the hall as, when you come to the hall and you're doing an investigation or anything like that, we love people to come and do a different type of investigation, study the hall, study what's going on in the paranormal, look at the hall from a different aspect. There are ley lines there. There's all different kinds of stuff.
The 37th parallel, yeah.
Exactly.
Which I think definitely plays into what's going on there, yeah.
Yeah, it plays a big part in what it is. And it's old Palo Indian ground, 3,000 years old. You got the cave systems underneath of it. Mammoth Cave, only 3% of it has ever been actually explored, and so you've got the largest cave system in the world running underneath Octagon Hall and up through that area. So you can imagine what that can do to an area.
It's the perfect storm.
Yep. It is a perfect storm. It is a perfect storm, and unfortunately, it's also the perfect for me sometimes of what we've seen and others have seen with us, and that's where I get the nickname. Kind of like going, if you really want to see something weird, go out with Bear.
Oh yeah.
Is that what they told your wife?
Yeah. Well, actually, they did, but she didn't listen. So she's learned over the 20 years now that she's like going, why did I ever do that? Yeah. So, but yeah, luckily she kind of keeps me sane sometimes.
Nolan, are you ready for some more questions?
Bring them on.
All right. Mackenzie wants to know who your favorite teammate was during the investigation.
It's asking me my favorite children.
Right.
Alex is watching right now, and I know he's going to want me to say him, so I'm not going to say him. I'm going to go with Xander. Xander's the rock star of the group. He's the one, like I said, the tech wizard who puts together these edits, and he's gotten so good at it. And like I said, the production value of this documentary is far superior than what we've been doing, and that's saying something because we've kind of built it up over time. So I'm going to say Xander just to spite Alex.
Okay, now Beth Allen wants to know, what is one of your personal goals for your future in the paranormal field?
That's a tough one. I mean, I guess really just continue to grow, both as an investigator and as a filmmaker, and just try and put out the best content that I can, and try and change people's minds and about, the way Octagon Hall changed my mind about questioning what actually exists out there. But helping people would be another one. I'd love to do more residentials and things like that. But really also just broadening my own horizon as far as what is out there. That's really what sparked this, is curiosity. So the more you learn, I guess the more goals you can accomplish within it.
Right. And then it creates more questions.
Yep. That's the kind of the curse of it, is the more you know, the more questions you have.
Right.
Absolutely.
Which just pushes you further. So the gift that keeps on giving.
Right. It keeps you going.
It does. Yep.
Okay. So Alex wants to know, what is the investigation you're looking forward to the most?
Well, we have, in fact, 8 days from now, we are doing our longest one we've ever done. And I talked about it a little bit earlier. We're going back to the Hinsdale house where it all started for us. And we've been there twice, only on public investigations. So with a group of 10 or 11. In this house, I don't know if you guys either of you have been there. It is secluded, kind of in the middle of, the woods. The whole area there's kind of nowhere to run. So when you're there on a public hunt, most places, I'm sure you guys know that when you go to most places, if you have a bigger group, sometimes you won't get anything. They don't want to talk to a larger group or whatever. Hinsdale doesn't care. Hinsdale will perform for you. It doesn't care who's there. So we've done 2 public hunts with, 10 plus people there, and we've gotten what we've gotten and had the crazy experiences we've had, but now we're going back for 72 hours by ourselves to isolate ourselves on the property. So we're 8 days away from that. I guess the closest one is the one I'm most excited for. So yeah, Hinsdale.
Right.
Excellent. Well, good luck at the Hinsdale house.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, Beth Allen says, I love seeing his excitement. You gained a supporter in me tonight, Nolan.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. And then I got somebody in here that says, how's it feel to be the greatest investigator in the world?
I saw that.
I think that's for Bear. That's got to be for Bear.
No. No, it's for you.
I mean, I guess I'd be the greatest investigator in the world in my own mind. So I guess that counts.
It says Nolan at the end of it, so that's why.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I guess feels great to be one of one in your own mind.
Yes, exactly. Well, you are a good one. I will tell you that much.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Since I met you, I have a great admiration for the way you are, and I have a lot of. I look forward to seeing a lot more of your work because I know it's going to be excellent, and you have that attitude. And my gosh, I know it's going to be that way.
I appreciate that a lot.
Oh, no problem. It's true. Tanya.
Okay. Christy Moore Hughes says, is it just me, or do you do better to just sit and wait for things to happen as opposed to asking for it to happen?
That's a good question. I think places vary. I know like certain places like Hinsdale, it'll just, like I just said, it'll just do it for you. Like it doesn't matter, who's there, how many are there, whatever. That place will perform for you and it'll scare the hell out of you. Yeah. But other places you go, I like to reenact kind of what would be happening in their time. The time I can really recount of that is at Randolph County when we went back there last year, and there was this old gurney that's in the first floor hallway. And so this is in the documentary we made. If you guys want to go check it out too, Pitch Black Paranormal on YouTube, where they strapped me down to this gurney and they left me alone on the first floor. And I'm laying there and I'm trying to I need a nurse. I need somebody to, come help me. I'm hurting. And the intelligent communication that sparked from that, I'll lend you a hand, lift this up when they're talking about the gurney that I'm laying on, and the intelligent communication that came from that. So I think it varies from place to place, but I think sparking up the energy would be my preferred method on an investigation.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
And, Beth says it best. She said the hall is like a box of chocolates.
That's right. Right.
Yeah.
I've never had a box of chocolates make me run away, but,
Yeah, but you never know what you're going to get.
You never know what you're going to get. That's true, yeah.
Never know what you're going to get, especially if you get that one that has the X-Lax in it. That'll make you
run. That made me run. Yeah, maybe an X-Lax chocolate. That's
where you're
hall.
Careful.
That's Octagon Hall is an X-Lax chocolate. That's your new slogan.
That's where you're careful where you get your chocolates.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, don't eat that chocolate.
And then Melvin says the closer to Halloween, the stranger it gets. Halloween is off the chain.
That is true, Melvin, and you ought to know because you and we've all been there many a times. And good to see you out tonight, buddy. I'm looking forward to seeing you this week up at the hall and saying hello to you too. So, what else has we got on there? All right, so now tell me how I'm going to watch this show and where I'm going to have my watch party at tomorrow and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so it's going to be Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel, Pitch Black Paranormal. If you go to our YouTube page or our Facebook page, I'll be sharing the trailer again tomorrow that has the links in it to go watch. But it's going to be premiering live at 8 p.m. Where you can come chat live with us. You can come talk to us, tell us your experiences, comment on the documentary. Alex will be in control of that chat. So at 8 p.m. or if you miss it, it'll be available at any time at that point after it comes out. So yeah, Pitch Black Paranormal on YouTube. Subscribe and check out our other documentaries in the meantime. But yeah, we're less than 48 hours away from the release, so it's super exciting.
Yep. Make sure to tag us in it, so that way we'll get more viewers too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
So that is super, super, super. We'll be sending us everything you got on it.
Yep, I'll do that. I'll send you guys the links and share it around, and I think people are really gonna like it.
Yeah.
You know what? I think so too. And like I said, if you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to put it back on the Hall, and I'll put it back on. I'm going to throw it on Night Stalkers, and I'll throw it on my page also, and into the Forest page.
Yeah, we'll throw it on ours too.
We're going to put that link in there for that teaser video that you're just going to love, because it is awesome to watch. And thank you for letting me be a small part of that. I enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you.
And buddy, I want you to come back to the Hall. I want you to have a good time. I know you've had a rough week so far, and I'm going to let you go, man.
All righty.
Want to say anything that you want to do? Anything that you want to mention? How people can get a hold of you? What's the best links to set up for Pitch Black Paranormal? Let people send you some likes on Facebook. Tell me where to communicate with you guys.
Yeah, so Facebook would be the best way to message us personally to get the quickest response. You can also, anybody who wants to reach out and just chat or tell us your experiences or whatever. We're actually working on a really big project right now that we haven't quite put out there, announced, but that's coming next year. So, and it kind of plays in with people's experiences. So if you have any sort of personal ghost story, whether it was at the Hall or anywhere else, you can email it to us at pitchblackpn@gmail.com, or you can Facebook message us, Pitch Black Paranormal, all under the same name, same with the YouTube. And yeah, just give us a like and a share if you like it. Go check out our other documentaries. We have Randolph County Infirmary, Indiana State Sanatorium, Ashmore Estates, The Conjuring House, all sorts of documentaries. So, yep, Octagon Hall is coming this Thursday, and I'm super excited for it. And thanks for having me on. This was a blast.
I appreciate it, brother. We'll have you back on here soon. God bless you. My best to the family. And
thank you.
Take it easy. Our prayers and blessings are with you. So thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for this documentary, and we're looking forward to having you back at the Hall, man.
Thank you so much.
Doing it the right way. I like it. So,
thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Yep. God bless.
All right. God bless you. Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
That was Nolan Emerson, and he is an awesome investigator. I really like him. What did you think of him, son?
Absolutely. He's got a great attitude.
Yes, he does. He has a attitude. His whole team has a great attitude.
Yeah.
That's the things that you want to look at the beginning of someone who's been at it for 5 years now and continuing now. He has an open mind. He's willing to look at stuff. And, you got to love people like that, because that's the future of the paranormal.
Yes, it is.
Hopefully that he...
It's great to see that too. You know?
It makes you happy. It makes you smile, doesn't it?
It
He
does.
is one of those guys that is
that just made my day today.
He's one of those people that you just, you're thankful to say, golly, I got to meet that guy,
Yeah.
And he is just a special person. So, and I thank him for all the things that's gone on through his life to spend a little time with us today. And
absolutely.
And do that.
That's a tough time.
Yeah, it is. It is. But as we all know, tune in on Thursday night, the 28th, for the premiere of Something Odd at Nottingham Hall. No, what's his name of that thing? I've got it somewhere, but I've already forgotten it already. Holy cow. But no, Pitch Black Paranormal is going to be having that wonderful documentary review on
Thursday night.
So please tune in. And if we can get enough people together, maybe we can schedule a little watch party ourselves, and we can all hang out and talk on the since he's going to have the page going and do some talking. Maybe we can all talk and give us some stuff. And as he said, he's working on a project that has some people. If you've had a paranormal experience and you want to share that with Nolan and Pitch Black Paranormal, send him a line. And I wish I had something I could send him, but but anyway, guys, it was a pleasure having you here tonight. God bless you all. Next week, we're going to have Brandon Ellis on with Proof After Paranormal. We'll be talking about an event coming up here in August in the wonderful world of the Octane Hall. That's a free it's an event where you're going to be paying $10. It's a meet and greet. He'll explain all that to you. It's all that and more. We'll all be out there to sharing that. And we're also, something else I wanted to drop out is that we're going to try to, we're going to change the way that, whether it be this Tuesday or, next Tuesday or the following, the next Tuesday will probably be the last Tuesday for End of the Far. It may be this one. We're going to move End of the Far to Sunday night, same bat channel right now. And we're going to do it at a Sunday evening instead of Tuesday night. We're going to do it on Sunday evening. And that way, hopefully you can join us and it doesn't conflict with your schedules too much for us to make that change, but it works out better for ourselves and our co-hosts and everything else. So hopefully you will come and join us on Sunday nights, and you'll be seeing some more on that later this week. So we thank you, as always, chat room and everyone else that's out there for your wonderful support, and we give you back love and appreciation, and thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on Into the Fire.
Love you guys, and good night.
Good night.